It's me, your fave. Up early in the morning doing this is like 9:45, but I do have to be at work at 12. So I wanted to go ahead and get some like quick messages out. It is Thursday, so I'm a day behind on what do you need to know Wednesday. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into that. Hi, my name is B, just in case if you forgot from the beginning of this. Hopefully I'm projecting loud enough so you can hear me. If you're accustomed to being here, welcome back. Then you already know what this is. For those of you who are new, let's kind of get into what the style of this reading is, right? This is going to be any clarity or confirmation that you need starting from the beginning of the week leading up until this point, or maybe up until this point, taking you out of the week into the weekend. Nothing I say here is meant to confuse you or to throw you off or to startle you or to trigger you. Okay. So if at any given point you get triggered, you are uncomfortable or anything like that, turn this off. I might not be the reader for you. This might not be the video for you, or now might not be the right time to be receiving these messages. If it don't apply, let it fly. I'm gonna throw a lot of stuff up in the air, grab what sticks, and whatever doesn't, let it fall by the wayside. Okay. So yeah, I hope that you guys are having a nice second week to the year. We are still in Capricorn season for right now. I think next week we enter Aquarius. The energy for this month has been a little wild, to be honest. And I think we have a new moon in Cancer coming up on the 19th. So we have about 3 or 4 days, give or take, depending on where you are in the world. And that will be popping off also. So a lot of energy. Please be grounding yourself. Ground yourself. Be secure in your energy. Yeah, take a nap. Make sure you're resting. Okay. Avoid burnout this month. All the Capricorn energy has gotten a lot of people, including myself, very like go, ready to get it done, ready to get it accomplished, ready to hit the ground running. But it's like, remember, don't burn yourself out. Okay. So let's kind of jump in with an oracle card or two for what do we need to know Wednesday, even though I'm a day late. What do we need to know this Wednesday? What energy should the collective be in? What advice and or clarity do we need right now at this time? Hopefully the ads on this YouTube lo-fi isn't too bad because I don't have my remotes next to me. So and I hate listening to ads. So hopefully it's not too crazy because it's not too long. But as soon as an ad pop up, honey, I'm messed up. All my remotes are on my bed over there. So yeah, let's see. We have the Moonlight card. Excuse me. We have the Moonlight card. Give me one more. And we have Magical Stream. I'll take these upright because they fell reversed. I don't know if I've just been like mixing this deck around. But they both fell reversed. I'll take them upright though. So you have the Moonlight card and you have the Magical Stream card. Magical Stream, I know for sure to be the card of the what is it called? The inner flow of consciousness, the interconnected flow of consciousness, or the universal, excuse me, the universal flow of consciousness is what it's called. Where it just basically talks about how everything is all interconnected. One thing leads into another thing, leads into another thing, leads into another thing. No two things are separate. It's like that saying where it's like, no, the ironic things really aren't that ironic, right? There's no such thing as coincidences, right? Things kind of happen the way they need to, how they are supposed to. One experience leads into another experience, leads into another experience, leads into another experience. Okay, so the magical stream card is basically a card to say what is the common denominator, and whatever your question, and whatever the situation, and whatever the circumstance, what is the common denominator? Who is the common denominator? And it'll kind of help you understand some things pertaining your questions and or maybe where you at in your world, right? You know how sometimes again the saying like, well, when it rains it pours, but it's like, but what's the common interest of all of that's what's going on, right? If you feel like you can't catch a break in your friendships and in your relationships, maybe you are the common denominator in doing something wrong or in how you're handling something, the way you see something. If you feel like you always having to, go paycheck to paycheck, what's the common denominator? If you get into this job and you have this issue, and then you move to this apartment complex and you have this issue, and then you go to your family function and you have this issue, what's the common denominator? Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's a mindset, sometimes it's other people. Sometimes it's just a lesson that needs to be learned, right? If you go around people and you feel like, damn, everybody just walk over me, everybody just ignores me. Maybe the common denominator is because you're not sticking up for yourself. You're not speaking up for yourself. You're not standing up for yourself. You're not defending yourself. So this is a good time to really start thinking about the universal flow of consciousness, the interconnectedness of it all, and what that means for you, wherever you are in your life. I do have my Shiro mug, okay, from a good homegirl of mine. So make sure y'all go get you one. The Moonlight card, if I remember correctly, is a card about your intuition and your discernment. But let's kind of jump off into the book. I'm familiar with this deck, but I also like, I like to brush up here or there. Sometimes you might kind of read something or come across something that kind of sticks out that didn't stick out to you before. So let's see. It says your intuition allows you to see beyond the mundane, logical and analytical. Follow it. That's the quote, right? Going into it, it says, Moonlight beckons. Come and trust your intuition to lead you into places that might not seem logical. Your hunches will be right on target. Resist second guessing yourself, for your alternative perspective is especially sharp right now. Okay, so what are you feeling? What are you feeling? What is your gut telling you? I always did like this card because there's an owl, as you can see, like there's a little owl kind of floating in the corner. So that also makes me feel like wisdom, knowledge, right? Not only just intuition, but what is your wisdom negating for you to do? What is your inner knowledge, your inner wisdom? What is it pushing for you? What is it moving or awakening within you, right? Making sure that you can really tap into your intuition, right? It says resist second guessing yourself, for your alternative perception is especially sharp right now. You can see beyond the surface of things and truly read between the lines. This is a good time to use oracle cards or other systems of divination to gain information. Remember that language of intuition is a symbolic one. It comes subtly through a hunch, a tingling, or a clear sound, or an animal, or an object that crosses your path. Spirit is sending you messages to help you right now. Success is yours if you follow the signs, okay? And then coming back here to the magical streams card, the universal flow of consciousness. So this makes me feel like, what signs are you getting this week? And pay attention to how they kind of fall into one or another, right? You might wake up and see 333, and then you walk outside on your morning walk and you see a dove, right? You see a red bird, you see a blue jay, you see a butterfly just in the cut hanging out, right? Pay attention to your intuitional hunches, but pay attention to how they're leading you to one thing, right? So this makes me feel like, like the breadcrumb theory, not in like relationships, like people that breadcrumb you, but like I'm seeing someone put down a breadcrumb here, and then they sit one here, and then they sit one here, and then they sit one, right? And it's like little trinkets. It's like, oh, a breadcrumb. Oh, a breadcrumb. Oh, a breadcrumb, right? What are you going toward? What is this leading you toward? What are the signs guiding you towards? This is a good time to really think about that. And don't second guess what you're thinking. Don't second guess what you're feeling. Don't, second guess your own intuition. You know what you know. You just have to trust in yourself and believe it. You just have to trust in yourself and lean into your vulnerability, lean into what you're feeling to really say, I wonder what this middle ground is. I wonder what this is leading me toward, right? Again, the universal flow of consciousness. No two situations are separate. No two experiences are separate. No two signs are separate. One intuitive sign can lead you into another one, can lead you into another one. I personally have been seeing vultures. Hey, I don't know. Don't ask me nothing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still sorting that one out for myself. But I have been seeing vultures. But vultures, and if I'm asking myself and I'm taking it spiritually, right? If I'm interpreting it spiritually or symbolically, vultures do what? They eat at what's already dead. They pick at what's already dead. They still try to salvage something that's already dead, right? So that leaves me thinking too, like, okay, maybe there's something I'm salvaging or trying to, squeeze a little bit left out of, because again, if you see roadkill and you see a bunch of vultures, it's already dead. You know what I'm saying? It's already lifeless. They've already killed it. Half the time, a vulture can still come and try to get the scraps off of what someone else already ate. I see this in like the animal kingdom all the time. Tigers, lions, leopards, cheetahs, right? They come kill something and they eat what they want, pick over it, leave the scraps. But the vultures will come get the scraps. And with the little intricacies of meat that the lion didn't eat off of it, they're still trying to pick off the dead, the scraps, right? So that could be interpreted a couple of different ways in my life. Maybe there are some connections that I'm still trying to pick at and pick off of, where it's like, girl, this is dead, let it go. Or there's something that I need to let die, mindset, mentality, emotions, a way of thinking, a way of being, some habits that just aren't doing it for me. Where it's like, girl, you still trying to kind of pick off some scraps of that. You still trying to pick off the scraps of this mindset, still pick off the scraps of these habits instead of letting it go. It's dead. There's nothing else. There is no meat on this thing. It ain't no life in it. You didn't already drained all of the blood out of it. Let it go. So pay attention to that this week. What are you seeing? What is your intuitive signs? What signs have you been getting? What animals are crossing your path? What numbers have you been seeing? What song lyrics for my clear audience that has been in your head? What dreams are you getting? Are there reoccurring dreams? Pay attention to the signs this week, but don't second guess the signs that you're getting either. Okay, this is a good time, like the card said, a good time for divination, meditation, journaling, taking a walk in nature so you can kind of connect to really get those messages. Okay. I'm trying to see if I want to pull another oracle card or not. I'll pull one. I'll pull one of these. And then what time is it? 9:55? Because I have to start getting dressed about like 10:45. So yeah. Still gotta make a phone call. Still haven't had breakfast yet. But anyway, the life of a woman is just never stops. Anyway, I was gonna use my Goddess Tarot deck, but I think I'll use my Tune In deck to get an oracle card. Give me one oracle card to confirm or to clarify what I'm already picking up here. Gone with the Wind, that's interesting. Gone with the Wind is here. So for some of you, right, this feels like upcoming drama. Pay attention to that. Okay. Gone with the Wind. And if you've heard me talk about this card before, right? I enjoyed the movie, but it was so draining. It was like, oh my God, can y'all be together already or just like fucking knock it off? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you gonna be with each other or are y'all gonna terrorize each other the whole movie? The movie like 2 hours, 3 hours long. And they really spent the whole 2 hours, 3 hours loving each other, hating each other, loving each other, hating each other, loving each other. So this makes me feel like intuitively out the gate, make sure you beware of like drama. Okay. Some of you might be getting intuitive hunches, intuitive like inklings, signs, okay, that could be dealing with some drama or just some like jealousy, some sort of like tension, basically. Again, it doesn't have to be major, it doesn't have to be a big old deal. You know what I'm saying? Like it ends in a fight in domestic violence. This could just be tension between you and somebody else. Okay, this also doesn't have to necessarily be romantic. This feels like it also could just apply to friends. You know, maybe you and a friend did have a falling out. And now you have to kind of listen to your intuition on how to maneuver and how to get through these things, right? Again, universal flow of consciousness. What's the common denominator? If you feel like you always falling out with your friends or there's always some drama and some tension, maybe this is the friend for you. Maybe this is the friend for you, but there's a common denominator in how y'all are handling stuff. You handling stuff, they're handling stuff. Both of you are handling stuff that just doesn't really work well. So it's like your divine team could be sending you through certain things, sending you through certain experiences to really kind of get you like maybe out of something, over something. If not you, then this other person. Because this again feels like drama. It just feels like you see how she has her hand on his chest. You know, back off is here. It says back off, affair, rival, drama, torn between, jealousy, property, right? So if this is love, this could be maybe an intuitive hunch on, you know, dealing with someone where this might be romantic. This doesn't have to be romantic though. This literally, like I said, could be a friend also. Look what's at the bottom of the deck. Color purple. Dear God, blood, sweat, tears, sadness, self-taught, freedom, abusive, sisters, misters, parents, right? So again, this feels like drama for some of you. So you could be getting an intuitive hunch already right now this week of like, stay away from drama, staying out of drama. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. Don't second guess yourself. Pay attention to what you're really feeling. Pay attention to what's really coming up for you right now. Because again, for some of you, this does feel like drama. This does feel like, you know, some shit that you probably have no business getting in. Or again, maybe you didn't got yourself in. Okay. But regardless, it's just saying follow your intuition. Listen to your intuition on what could be going on. On a very light note, where this isn't drama and fighting, this could just be like listening to your intuition on like a possessive person. Because again, Gone with the Wind was just one of those things. Like they hated each other today and they liked each other tomorrow. This was the type of movie where somebody would say, you know, go away from me. I never want to see your stupid face again. I never liked you anyway. I don't even know why you called me. And then tomorrow will be like, you know what I'm saying? Well, you didn't call, and you know, now I feel a type of way because you're over there talking to them when I really secretly want you talking to me. It's like, you know, so be careful of that too. That back and forth energy, that possessive, jealous kind of your mind kind of energy here today, gone tomorrow, hot today, cold tomorrow, love you today, don't love you tomorrow. You don't want to be torn in that. You don't want to be caught in that. Jay-Z flipped over. So yeah, these are two different energies. Not saying that Jay-Z just got his shit together. We all heard the Lemonade album, okay? But Jay-Z, from outside looking in, right? I don't know this nigga personally. He could see me walking down the street tomorrow. He would not know me, okay? But from what I would like to think of him and see of him, I think he's a pretty stable energy. He been with Beyonce this whole, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he might have some infidelity issues or whatever, but at the end of the day, again, this is a collaboration. As you can see, it says collaboration here, right? It says collaboration, titles and contracts, 444, which is to me as a spiritualist, one of my favorite. No, I can't even say one of. 444 is hands down by far my favorite angel number. It has gotten me through the darkest of times. And for me, I always interpreted it as protection and stability foundation, but mainly protection. You know, things are protected. You're worrying for nothing. Stop stressing for nothing. Everything is going to be fine. Right? That's what I use it as. But when we have collaboration, when we have titles and contracts, when we have 444, when we have new me, founder, blueprint, okay, this makes me feel like, again, someone who is interested in meeting in the middle. Okay. For some of you, you could be into it or at odds with a friend. How are y'all collaborating instead of being at odds with each other? How can you collaborate more with people instead of be at odds with them? Whether this is in your love life, at work with your coworkers, with your friendships, okay? Because that matters. Collaboration is a thing. Titles and contracts. That's two people. That's an agreement. A title on something, that's just what it is. Contract, we are in agreement with something. Collaborations, we are working together for a common goal. So this makes me feel like for those of you where this is friendships, partnerships, coworkers, are y'all working together? Are y'all collaborating? Are you leaning into your intuition? Are you following the signs? Or are y'all at odds? Okay, Gone with the Wind, like I said, is a very different energy from Jay-Z. Even his album, yeah, because wasn't the album, he did make that album, right? 444. After she made Lemonade, which in that entire album was talking about what his family, his kids, his strifes with Beyonce. I think there is even a song where he talked about how way, way, way back, and they first ever started dating, he took her out somewhere, and the first thing he told her was, "Don't embarrass me." You know what I'm saying? But even honoring that in the song and saying, I didn't realize just how actually you were so much more mature than I ever could have been in that moment to even say that to you. Now, I'm not saying that again, we should all just drop to our knees and forgive Jay-Z for that shit. But again, are we working together? Are we being a team? Are we collaborating? Are we meeting in the middle? Or are we experiencing drama, tension, back and forth? Where I love you today and I hate you tomorrow. Just saying. For some of you, again, new me, right? So you might need to have to go back to the drawing board, the magical stream. The common denominator for some of y'all might be you. If you feel like every time I'm at work with a new job, it's some new tension. Probably because you're the one with the attitude. If you always make new friends or you always around new people, but then there's always something with these new people, there's always some drama. Or if you're getting in new connections and they're always kind of with drama, maybe you're the hot and cold one. Are you hot and cold? Are you the one who's saying I love you today and I hate you tomorrow? And I'm kind of dragging myself a little. I'm kind of dragging myself a little bit because I like to let y'all in my business a little, and I can be very like that. I can be very, I want you here today, and then tomorrow it's like it'll get away from me. Now you done made me mad. Now you done upset me. Now you done got on my nerves, and I want you to go away. I can very much treat somebody like that, where it's like back off. But then now I'm mad because you didn't left. So again, maybe you're the common denominator. Maybe I'm the common denominator. That ain't no tea, no shade. That ain't to feel no type of way about. You just have to ask yourself what you're doing about it. How can you show up in a different type of manner? How can you show up in a different type of light? How can you show up in a different type of way? So let's see. Let's jump in with some tarot. What are we at? 22 minutes. What is it? 10:05 now. Um, yeah, for some of you it might be you. Like even I'm looking back at this card, right? Look at how his hand is on her waist. So he's pulling her closer. She's pushing her hands is on his chest. She's pushing him away, but he's trying to pull her closer. So for some of you, it might be you. For some of you, you might still have pent up drama, pent up issues, pent up jealousy, pent up trauma from past relationships and affairs that is now coming out. You know what I'm saying? Even friendship, like I said, this isn't always going to apply for romance. For some of you, this is about friendship. Some of you, you have friendship trauma, friendship hurts, people in your life that have hurt you to where now you don't really know how to allow people to pull you in. You always pushing people away. You don't know how to collaborate. You don't know how to meet in the middle. You don't know how to be a team and be on the same page and be in agreement. You're pushing people away, and that might again have to come back from, you understanding that a new you has to be submerged. Go, what I'm saying? What's the blueprint? You got to go back to the drawing board a little bit and see how you want to interact with these things. So yeah, that could be the natural flow of things where it's like one relationship after another relationship after another relationship after another relationship, and I keep experiencing the same things. Are you going after the same people? Because sometimes you go after the same people in a different body, but it's the same energy. Sometimes you carry in the same energy. And it ain't about the other people that you meet and encountering, but it's the fact that you need some different energy. You need to change your mindset. You need a different habit, a different way of thinking, a different way of being. Let's get some tarot on it. Let's get some tarot on it. What's the tarot? Give me some tarot on it. Yeah, Lover's card reverse. Yeah. So not being on the same page, not seeing eye to eye, right? Not being on the same page, not seeing eye to eye. The Lover's card can also be like an unrequited type of love sort of situation. Can give me one more card for the Lover's card. Define it for me. Give me a little bit deeper. Give me a little bit more meat and potatoes behind the Lover's card. Yeah, Six of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. So there's something to move away from so you can invest, right? So like I said, maybe this is friendship trauma, right? Have you moved away from the friendship hurt? Have you really let it go? Have you really bypass it so you can really show up in your friendships and make the proper investments in these friendships the way that you need. If it's love trauma, maybe like I said, you're still holding on to love trauma and you can't even just listen to your intuition when it comes down to the fact that this person cares about you, the fact that these friends care about you, the fact that these people genuinely want to be your friend. You can't even listen to your own intuition because you still so fucked up about the old hurt, the old trauma, the old things that was going on. You can't even just listen to your intuition where it's like, oh, these people really fuck with me. You might be in the back of your mind like, I don't know. Because the last time I thought somebody was really fucking with me, they showed me that they wasn't. Right. But is this that? Are you constantly experiencing the same energies, the same vibes, the same connections to try to get you out of that? Because maybe you are the common denominator. What are you needing to move away from in order to make some proper investments, in order to really see these investments grow? To really see these investments grow. That's like a big thing. Two of Wands is reverse. So it's like, I don't know, you might still be stuck. Two of Wands for me upright is about progress, momentum. You know what I'm saying? Entering a new level. You might kind of still be stuck at the same level. It's like a video game. You know? It's like if you don't beat level 3, you'll just always have to keep going back to level 3 until you beat it. You're not gonna just magically go to level 4. You have to beat level 3 first, and then crack the code and go through the storyline and beat the storyline, and then they send you to level 4. But it's like you could kind of be stuck at a certain space, stuck at a certain chapter, stuck in a certain phase in your life that's not really like elevating you. And it again feels like it's related to friendships and connections, whether it be romantic, platonic, a situationship, family, or co-workers. This feels like again something from like the past is still keeping you from really leveling up the way you need to. Okay, life and times over here on this Jay-Z card, titles and contracts. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z didn't just wake up to be the millionaire billionaire that he is. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of progress. It took a lot of leveling up. You know, I'm sure it took a lot of him reinventing himself and getting out of certain habits and getting out of certain patterns. Yeah, I keep hearing it. I apologize. And that was off of the 444 album. I think that was the song I'm referring to where he spent the time apologizing, but he understood that what he was the common denominator. I apologize for all of the time that I wasn't there, for the time that we first started dating and I brought you out with me, and instead of telling you how good you look, I told you don't fucking embarrass me. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. It's on me. It's on me. I did this to us. And I'm not really understanding. I didn't really understand again the magnitude of what was going on. But I imagine when you think you Jay-Z and when you think you just the hottest thing walking, because you've been Jay-Z for a long time, that you forget that you're standing next to Beyonce. You dig what I'm saying? But sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, this is where I'm falling short. This is where I'm fucking up. This is what I need to work on within myself. This is what I can do better at. And to really go back to the drawing board to get a new blueprint so you can have a new self, so you can have a new sense of self and really allow things to flourish and progress. For some of you, things aren't, yeah, I was just saying that. For some of you, things aren't really progressing because you are like ignoring your intuition. Again, for some of you, you are pushing people away and you're not really listening to your intuition, or you're not really following your intuition. Even if you do feel like people mean well, you probably still leave. Why? Because it's still baggage. You still pushing people away, even if you feel like they mean well, even if they telling you, hey, I'm not here to hurt you. Hey, I'm not here to get over. Hey, I'm not here to act like this. Hey, I'm not here to do this or do that to you. I come, unarmed, hands up, don't shoot. But it's like, I don't know, when you still have drama, past baggage, hurt, it's hard to really embrace things that are meant for you, even if you intuitively feel like and have a hunch like this is something that's for you. You can get all the signs in the world that you want, that this person means well and is supposed to be in your life, and that these friends mean well, these coworkers mean well. And sometimes you'll still sit here and feel like, yeah, look, judgment, look at the judgment card just fell over. Sometimes you'll still sit here and go, I don't know. I mean, the tarot lady on YouTube said But I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I still just. I don't know if I believe that or not. But that don't got nothing to do with the person you dealing with, the people you dealing with, the people in your environment. That has everything to do with you and how you're operating, your baggage, your judgment around things, and the judgments that you're making that are really rooted in baggage, rooted in trauma, rooted in drama, rooted in fear, rooted in anguish, and all of that, anxiety, and all of that. Clarify this Ten of Wands for me. And then another 10, because it's a mindset thing. Because it's a mindset thing. There's a mindset that y'all aren't releasing. There's a mindset that's not really being taken in consideration when it comes to how you're dealing with the people in your life right now. What you need to know is for some of y'all, there is someone romantically that's trying to come in or that you're already kind of dealing with. Excuse me, Miss just popped out to me on this Jay-Z card, which makes me feel like for some of you, again, you have suitors. If you haven't met this person yet, then they're coming. For some of you, you probably have already met this person, but it's like you keep pushing people away. You pushing people off. You're kind of keeping people like at arm's length, like back off. And despite again your own intuition, despite your own feelings, despite your own hunches, signs, spiritual signals, or whatever, you're still kind of operating from that space of like baggage and a fucked up mentality that's not really helping you. It's time to really release that mentality. As I see 1010 here. How somebody gonna come court you and be nice to you and wine you and dine you and all of that if you just gonna be rude? Where it's just like, ugh, please don't touch me. It's like, damn, I was trying to kiss your hand. I was trying to help you up the stairs. All I did was you got some nice heels on. I'm trying to help you come up the stairs like a gentleman, and you just quick to act like, ugh, don't touch me. I got it. It's like you're not doing nothing but running people off. So how can you work on it? How can you retire that mentality, retire that energy to really usher in some new energy? Or else all of these connections might start ending in tragedy. All of these connections, because even in Gone with the Wind, if I remember the ending correctly, or I don't know if I necessarily watched all of it to the end, but I do know that again, these two, it didn't end well. They did all of that back and forth and back and forth and forth and back and back and forth and forth and back and was so crazy in love with each other today and couldn't stand each other and was so irritated by each other the very next day just for them to what? I think she ended up getting married to somebody else or was about to get married to somebody else. And then he ended up like having somebody already, but was still trying to come back and deal with her. It's like, look, y'all can cut all of that if y'all just stop acting like y'all don't want to be together. Stop acting like y'all don't like each other. Stop acting like y'all don't want to be together. Stop acting like it's not giving what it's giving. Stop acting like you don't want nobody to court you. Stop acting like you don't need no friends, like you don't need companion, like you don't need coworkers or sisterhood or brotherhood or whatever it is like that. And you really need to kind of like go back to the drawing board and look at yourself. Because for some of you, like I said, I'm seeing that you're the common denominator. Sorry. Like here you go. But sometimes it is you, person watching. Sometimes it is you. Sometimes you are the problem. Sometimes you are the culprit. And you have to first sit in that and understand that before you can first then start asking yourself, what are you doing about it? Okay. But that is what I'm seeing for y'all. Yeah. 5 of Cups down at the bottom of the deck. So again, no need to cry over spilled milk. You just gotta go back to the drawing board and do better. Allow yourself to kind of be open to what people want. I'm not saying they got to be possessive and jealous and toxic, but what I'm saying is don't push away the very people who are trying to pull you in. You might be pushing away the very people who want to be in your life, who don't mind being in your life and showing up. And if those are the connections that you want in your life, also learn how to protect them instead of pushing them away out of some radical stance to protect yourself because you have past baggage. Okay? That is what I have for y'all, though. I wanted to make this kind of short, sweet, to the point, even though I mean it's still 30 something minutes. I'm coming off at 10:18, so I still have like 20 minutes to get dressed and get ready before I gotta skedaddle on up out of here, and I have a couple of phone calls to make. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, leave me some comments if this resonated. I am open for personal readings. You can drop down below in the description box and get with me on those. And yeah, my name is B, just in case if you forgot from the beginning of this. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, and I'll see you over on the next video. Bye.